pop it back. Well, what do you do when you're getting older? And I'm getting older. Some of you know I'm getting much older. And you've got an astigmatism that seems to be getting worse. I've always had a astigmatism for a long time. I found out when I was trying to get contact lenses back in the day, and they didn't have any. You couldn't get them to fit right because of the astigmatism. I had a very minor astigmatism back then, and I could wear the contacts. I just decided, I just hated them. I didn't like them. So I get by with cheap readers now because mostly I just can't see up close. But anyway, I've always run a red dot on my ARs, and because I like the ability to shoot with both eyes open, and they were lightweight, they were durable, and for me, relatively close to anything like 75 yards in, I didn't have a problem. Well, last year I went to the farm with Pop's Quest and the gang, and then shooting the little running gun that they had set up, I couldn't hit squat. Um, the red dot had turned into this giant, I don't want to say it, almost comet shaped blob, red blob, and there was just no definitive area where to shoot. And I was having a really tough time shooting. I couldn't hit a thing. So I'd come to the conclusion that my days using a red dot were done. And because I'm on a very, very, very fixed income, I've been trying to figure out some way around so that I could still see what I'm aiming at and not use the iron sights, because I, quite frankly, suck at that, again, because of my eyesight. Well, lo and behold, somebody, a very good dear friend of mine, decided he was going to clean out his safe, and part of the process of cleaning out his safe was he had this Vortex Viper PST 1 to 4 that had been sitting in his safe basically since he bought it 6, 7 years ago, and decided that he was going to gift it to me. God bless you. So, there it is. We had a minor problem when they first got here because they had been sitting in the safe for so long that the adjustment ring here for the zoom from 1 to 4, I mean, it took an act of Congress to get it to move. So I called and talked to Vortex, and they sent me out a shipping label, and I sent it back to them, and they went through and cleaned it all out. I guess the early ones had the grease they had inside here to lubricate everything wasn't the best, and it would harden up like this did. And they tore the scope all apart and cleaned all that crap out and put new, better lube in and reset the scope back to mechanical zero, and they repurged and sealed up the scope, put new gas in it, and packaged it up and sent it back to me. Man, and it took all 2 weeks. And that included shipping time, me sending it back to them and them sending it back to me. So, thumbs up to Vortex. You'll never hear me say a bad thing about Vortex. I had 2 Vortex red dot scopes that I loved. I went on eBay and I found this. It's a 3D printed, call them cattails or whatever, And I paid, I want to say like 13 bucks for them. There's a couple different guys on there. There's one guy that'll make one for you at, you tell him the diameter of your ring, and he'll print one out for you. And this one has a screw that goes in here into a brass thread that's embedded over on this side, and this thing just works just slick as hell. I did add some Butler Creek flip ups to the site, which I really like these flip up caps because it just keeps all the crap out. When I need to use them, I just push the button that flips up, and I'm just happy as a pig in poop. This front one I also got on eBay. I got it from the guy in China for 99 cents. This is a 30 millimeter tube, and he just happened to have some in whole measurements, and this one including 30, and that's this one. And I only paid 99 cents ship for it from China. It took forever to get here, but it's a good quality. It works well. It keeps the crap off the lens, and that's all I care about. I got this one. Midway had them on quote unquote clearance for $5, and they were like $10, $15 in the stores. So, being the penny pincher I am, I jumped all over that. So, what else have I done? Oh, my buddy was also generous enough that when he sent this scope to me, he got this back in the day when Vortex was having these cantilever mounts made for them, and they just branded their name on it. But it's made by American Defense, and these are the American Defense Recon mounts. Yeah, it says right here Recon. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that or not with my crappy cell phone camera. But anyway, man, these are some wickedly nice mounts. I tell you what. They're quick release. You have to push this down to get it to release, and you have to push it down all the way or it won't release. It's adjustable. You push this in, and you turn this nut down here to in or out to tighten or loosen them up. And these are on this side. These loose parts are spring loaded. I'm not sure if you can see the spring inside there or not, but it sure makes putting these things on a lot easier. I mean, a lot easier. And it just locks them down solid as a rock. So that's what you do when you're an old man and you can't see red dot sights clearly anymore. I can see the reticle in this scope clear as day. All I have to do is adjust this ring back here so my focus is clear. I don't need to have my bifocals on. It's got brightness levels, and I can see it in the daylight. This thing just freaking rocks. At 1 power, I can keep both eyes open and shoot just like I do with the red dot, which and I can clearly see the reticle. I mean, it's just phenomenal. This scope I've never owned a scope that's as nice as this one. The only disadvantage to this setup compared to the red dot sight that I've had on this since the day I built it is that this thing weighs at least 2 times more than that red dot, if not more. Probably 2.5, almost 3 times as much. That's the only drawback, is the extra weight. I just can't say enough. So anyway, I'm way over my time. I'm sorry I ramble on, but if you're having problems seeing your red dot sight clearly, you have two choices. If you want to use a sight, you can get a prism sight, which is basically a 1 power or a 3 power or fixed power scope in a very compact package, or you can go with something like this, the variable. I can't recommend this strongly enough, because now I know I can take my gun and I can with confidence shoot out to 100 yards plus with just a flip of the lever. These cattails, these things rock. I mean, just it makes it so much easier and so much faster to change your magnification. So, got any comments or questions? Post them below. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody and their comments. Y'all take care. Have a great day and support your Second Amendment rights, folks. They're trying to take them away.